Hey everybody, it's me again. Yes, I just posted a video and now I am on to cooking Hello Fresh chicken, bacon, and mozzarella ravioli with kale in a creamy garlic parmesan sauce. Like, hello, doesn't that sound good? So I already have water over here heating up. Let me see something here. And yes, I did just do a video on low sodium, and one of my biggest things is adding a lot of salt in what's going to be pasta water. So I'm not going to add as much. My video was not to say never eat salt. It's just saying be mindful of the salt that you're putting in your body. Okay, so the heat's on medium high, and I'm just going to wait for that to boil. In the meantime here I have kale. And this is to cut off any large ribs, and that's like the bottom part of it, or any of the thicker part of the stems that can get really, really tough. Let me see here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get just a little bit of olive oil, heat it up in this pan, medium to high heat. Okay, perfect. I wanted to make sure I had that right because I don't want to burn the kale. Okay. Get this to wipe my hands. Now this is like super simple, guys. I have the kale, I have the Parmesan cheese, I have the garlic powder, here I have the chili flakes, this is the 1 tablespoon of flour, and here's the cream cheese, and here's the chicken, mozzarella, and bacon ravioli. I mean, look how easy this is. Now this one is a lightning prep, or it might not be lightning prep, but the prep, it's got to be lightning prep. 5-minute prep, cook time 15 minutes, calories, look at that, 560. Now tell me how good this looks, all right? Okay, so let's get to it. I have the olive oil heating, I have the water over there coming, well, not yet even, well, okay, you know what? It's bubbling a little bit, okay? All right, now I'm trying to do this fast because my heart alarm's gonna go off in 30 minutes. And again, I'm like, that can't happen, because if that happens, my sound's gonna cut off. So hopefully nobody calls me. I should have put myself on do not disturb. So let's just pray this video goes smooth with no sound interruptions. Okay? All right, so this is heating up fairly nicely. I'm just looking through the kale. I don't see any large rib portions here. It's not a big thing if they get in your dish. They're just the thicker part of the kale. Like, it's just like spinach. That you buy fresh in the produce, where their vegetables are. The stem part can be just a little bit thicker. So I'm just, looking through here, there's some in there, like I can pull one out. Like, see, this is the thicker part of the stem. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just getting all these tossed in here. And you know what? I just realized, keep half the kale. Oh God, so let's get half out. Oh God, okay. See what happens when you try to jump ahead? Now, why is this? There's something on the bottom of the pan that's making it sizzle like that, guys. Don't worry, the kale's not like firing up that bad. You know what, I'm just gonna touch, there we go. Okay, I want that red to come off of that burner a little bit, so. And then this says, add half the kale, season with salt and pepper, cook, stir occasionally until tender, about 5 to 7 minutes. Again, I just did the video on low sodium, so I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. Pepper, I can have at it, right? Let's season that baby up with some pepper. Okay, let's just give this a stir. And again, you're cooking this down until it's all tender. Now, if you've ever cooked, not like the frozen spinach, but if you've actually cooked like spinach leaves, or sauteed them, I should say, you will notice you could put gigantic handfuls of spinach in your pan, and when they start to saute, it literally like shrinks down, and it looks like you have like no spinach. So just keep that in mind, that spinach wilts like crazy, like times 50 of what it actually is when you put it in the pan. It's freaking crazy. I need this up a little bit higher, but sorry guys, I'm trying to work with what I got here. Okay, let me see. Once this gets tender, we're going to turn off heat, transfer to a plate, and wipe out the pan. Alrighty then, let's, where's it? There we go. Let's get a plate. Just had this already. The kale smells really, really good, guys. I don't like dry kale, or not dry. I don't like, I guess you could say raw. I don't know. Uncooked kale, raw kale. I don't like raw kale. So, but this smells really, really good cooking. So maybe I'll go ahead and have to try sauteing kale, like with my salads, because I know kale is one that's like really good for you. Now the kale actually wilts a lot too. Let me go ahead and show you this here. See, that's the kale. There's the water. It's just starting to bubble just a little bit. And then here's the rest of my ingredients. There's Holly. Hi. Okay. All right, let's get you guys set back up here. So this is actually, I didn't know if kale wilted or not. I was assuming it did because it's like just like spinach, right? So just give it a feel. And actually I'm seeing more ribs in there than what I thought, but I'm just going to deal with them. I mean, like I said, it's not going to hurt you to eat them. They're just going to be a little tougher, that's all, because they're the thicker stem part of it. Alright, so I'm going to let this go for just another minute or two. And of course I know I'm going to turn off the plate, or turn off the pan, put in a plate, and wipe out the pan. After that, I'm going to go ahead and melt a teaspoon of butter in the same pan over medium-high heat. And then I'm going to heat the flour and garlic powder. So let me go ahead and get these open a while. These open? Yep, perfect. Alrighty. So where does the rest of the kale come in? Hold on, guys. So here, look. I don't understand where the rest of the kale's coming in though. Once water is boiling, I'm confused. Okay, hold on guys. This is still sauteing, so it's okay. Just give me 1 minute. One teaspoon, okay, pinch of chili flakes, season with salt and pepper. Water is boiling, add ravioli. Stir ravioli and kill it. Well, that's really weird. Add half of the kale. Maybe because this is only for two people. I don't know. So you know what? I'm just going to actually go in and add a little bit more. I thought maybe you added it else somewhere along the way. But I mean, that was a lot of kale for 2 people. So that's what I'm assuming happened. If you notice that your kale is getting like too hot but not really softening, you can add a little bit of water. So since I added some in late, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So just give me a minute. You don't want to add too much water because you don't want to drown out the kale. Just add enough. There you go, perfect. Oh, I feel like my skillet's mad at me or something. Alright, there we go. See, it wilted down a lot faster when you add a little bit of water. And it'll give tips like that for you guys. Like you can see on here, add a splash of water if needed to help the kale soften. Okay, so it's really cool to add these tips for you. Alright, just another Actually, let me turn it off. Alright, now I'm going to get this on a plate. I don't know why it was burning so bad. That's weird. This is actually a new skillet, so you can see I don't need to wipe it out. It came out very clean. So the kale is on a plate. Now I'm going to add, I already have the butter here, so I'm going to add this in the same pan. Now my burners, I don't know, I have a little bit of distrust with my stove. I feel like it doesn't, like what's the word, it gets very, very high. And when I lower the heat, it doesn't, like mine's an electric stove. And I'm kind of like looking for those red rings to go down, and sometimes they don't go down. So my stove and I have trust issues, just letting you know. So I'm just swirling this butter around, getting the bottom of that pan nice and coated. This is going to help make that creamy Alfredo sauce. Like I said, the low sodium video I have on here is great for reference. Some stuff you're going to, go ahead and splurge and use a little bit more butter, a little bit more salt. It's natural, okay? But there's a lot of ways to cut back on it. So check that video out if you're interested in low sodium tips. So I have the butter melted, so we are going to go ahead and add flour and the garlic powder. There's the flour, and here's the garlic powder, and turn the spaghetti water down here. Alright, so you just kind of want to stir this around, get it all combined, just roughly for about a minute, okay? And then it should be pretty fragrant, and that's when you want to move on to the next step. So let me go ahead and show you guys what this is looking like here. So this is the flour and the garlic powder with the salt. Until golden brown. So it's looking pretty golden brown to me. So we are going to get ready. Let me flip you around again. Oof, okay. Then we are going to whisk in the cream cheese. Oh, I need to get water. 3/4 cup of water. Good to know. Where'd I put the cup? Here we go. Now let me see, does it say to lower the heat? Nope. Okay, whisking cream cheese and 3/4 cup of water. Again, don't let that don't let that simmer scare you, okay? So let's get the cream cheese added in. And you just want to, now my whisk I have is made from like this material. It's not a very like sturdy whisk, so I'm just taking a flat spatula and I'm just going ahead and just gently breaking up that cream cheese. And what's going to happen is you want to simmer and cook until thickened, which is going to be about 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm just going to drop the heat a little bit here. And while that's thickening up, I'm going to actually go ahead and add my raviolis into the water, because it's coming up to a pretty nice bubble. Come on. I can't get it open. There we go. All right, I'm going to pop off screen for just a minute, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, they are in. The raviolis are not going to take long to cook. You know they're done when they all start to rise to the top. So once I see that they've risen up, then I go ahead and usually let them go for like another minute or two. Let me just get a spoon so I can give the ravioli an occasional stir. I gave you all a cleavage shot there, sorry. Okay. Let's bump the heat up on the water now that they're in. Don't rush. I hope I didn't lose sound. Don't rush when you are making the sauce. You want to just go very smooth with it. You want to be gentle. You don't want to like force those chunks of that cream cheese to break. You want to just be very patient with it. The sauce is starting to thicken up very nice, but there's still some chunks of cream cheese in there. So I'm just kind of taking the spatula and going like this along the pan to help break it up. But it's looking very, very nice. All right, just add a little bit of pepper in here. Oh yeah, this is thickening up really good. I'm actually going to lower the heat even more. Take it down to a really, really low saute. Now, once the raviolis are done, and just, let me give them a stir actually, what I'm going to do is reserve a little bit of that cooking water, because once they're done, I'm going to add the raviolis and the kale to the thickened Alfredo sauce. And if it needs, you know, if it's too thick, I can always add in a little bit of that pasta water that's going to have the flavor from the pasta. So it's going to keep that flavor nice and strong, but just helping me to get everything pulled together nice, okay? So let's see, we're just continuing to whisk this because it's at a very good thickness right now, but you don't want it to start to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Not curdled. You don't want it to get curdled, okay? I'm saying curdled. You'll notice if you let it go too long without stirring that it might start to stick to the bottom of the pan. So that's why you want to keep this in motion, keep it stirring, keep that Alfredo sauce moving, okay? So the ravioli should only take another 2 minutes or so. And this, I've gotten a lot of the big chunks of the Alfredo sauce down. Let me show you guys what's going on here. So this is the nice Alfredo sauce we got going on. You can see it's a pretty nice thickness. There's some little chunks of cream cheese in there, but that's not concerning. There's the kale, and of course there's the raviolis. Let me go ahead and give these a stir. Chicken, bacon, and mozzarella. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, anyway, this is not a music video. I really hope you guys can still hear me. I'm gonna be really sad if you can't. Oh, you know what? I gotta turn this down really, really low because I gotta take my attention away for just a couple minutes. Let's get the strainer ready because the ravioli is going to be done here, guys, in like another minute because they're all floating up to the top. When you stir, you can still feel that the ends are a little bit hard, so I'm just going to stir and let them go for another minute. Again, giving the Alfredo sauce another stir. This meal is pretty easy, actually. I'm pretty impressed with this meal, and it smells delicious. I mean, nothing like making your own homemade. That's good. And that was cold Alfredo sauce, and that's good. See? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, so I'm letting the raviolis come up to a rapid boil. Let me see. Splash of water. Top with Marina Parmesan. Okay, so we are, oh, I'm glad I looked at that. Okay, so we're going to stir in half of the Parmesan. Something told me I was missing something. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And then a pinch of the chili flake. This is just going to give it that little tiniest bit of heat. All right, so now let's get that all stirred in together. That Parmesan cheese is going to melt in there nice and help to thicken up that sauce even more, just like we all know an Alfredo sauce should be. Creamy but thick. You don't want a runny Alfredo sauce. At least I don't. So those that bits of the shredded Parmesan cheese really help to bring up the thickness of the Alfredo sauce. So let's check the raviolis. Oh, yep, they're good. Oh, okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna drain the raviolis. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Oh, I did it! Yay! Okay, so here's this. Now let me just make sure, stir raviolis. And the kale, okay. Woo. I managed to actually kind of knock most of those thicker rib part of the kale to the bottom. So let's get this back in. Just want to stir all this together. Now if it's too thick, because that Parmesan cheese can really thicken it up, this is when you want to have some of that pasta water, which is, I don't know if you see me, I almost forgot again. So it's over there in the pan. So I think this is looking a little bit too thick. So let me go ahead and get some of this added in. Don't add a lot at a time. Add that little bit of pasta water in very slowly, okay? Because you don't want to add too much pasta water in. Because again, then that's going to make a very runny sauce, and that's not good. All right. So I believe we are done. Divide ravioli between bowls, top with romaine and Parmesan, and a pinch of chili flakes if desired. So, yeah, we are done, y'all. Okay. So if I can figure out how to post pictures in my comments, I don't even know if you can do that on YouTube. I'll post a picture of it, but if not, that'll always be on my Facebook page. So as always, I thank you all so very much for joining me. I really hope this video did not go silent, and I will see you all later. Bye.